Hi, my name is Mike Sears, and today we're going to take a look inside your settings menu. Our last video was on information. Settings is something that that I know you're going to access at least when you first own your vehicle, because as you'll see, this is where we set everything up. And then from time to time we'll refer back to those. Let's go ahead and take a look at the screen. Right now we're in a map mode, and it's actually this map mode can be changed from your settings as well. Some of the things you're going to see us do in the settings menu can be accessed by touching your screen. Icons would be one. And this is where we can just turn on gas stations and rest areas. Kind of convenient. We can hit our back button here, which I'll have a tendency to use quite a bit. We have a back button up here on the screen, and again, as in previous videos, we have one over here on the steering wheel. So when we go back into settings, we'll start with navigation. Typically, navigation settings you would use if you can't find what you're looking for in your destination, map, or route buttons down on your main display. So you'll go up, you'll touch navigation, and we're just going to take a look. This address book is in your destination section of your regular console, if you will. Stored routes, like your telephone, it'll just kind of keep track of what your stored routes are. Stored tracking, areas to avoid, delete stored items. If typically everything that you put in there will be stored, again, much like your telephone. Whenever it says 5 of 6, we might want to take a look and see what else is down here. You could transfer an address book. These are all fun things to play with, and certainly as your salesperson helps you, set your car up for what you really want it to do, this is where this will be done. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back, and we're going to take just a brief look at some of the other options. Map view, typically the preferred position in map view, and you may have seen in earlier videos how we displayed 3D when you're in town, and using the knobs to zoom in and zoom out. You can actually grab the screen as well. You can kind of have some fun with it, and again, I really just encourage you to do that. Just have fun with your car. So we'll go back into settings, back into navigation. Guidance settings, just like it sounds, is where you would maybe turn the volume up or down. You might want to turn traffic announcements off. If you're on a long trip and you don't want to listen to the guidance, you just want to watch it, you could turn that off. Again, we have 1 of 7, so you just want to get out of here and dial down or touch the screen, of course. Under others, I've encouraged you in the past to take a peek and see what's in here. Auto reroute is on. I prefer that setting because that way we don't get scolded when we take a little detour or get off the beaten path a little bit. Satellites will stay in touch with us and make sure that we're always on the right track. Okay, that's about it for navigation. So let's go back and look inside audio. Audio here can be used for treble, bass, and balance. Again, these aren't things that we set every day, so you'll find your preferences and probably leave them alone. You'll see down here you have Bose center point, and then keep in mind that we're in an M. So some of these features that you see if you have a G that's either brand new or maybe a few years old, everything is still going to function about the same, and the names of the items will appear to be the same, but you may have additional things. And as I reach down here, I see that we have autopilot and surround effect. Now these items aren't available on every vehicle, but this menu absolutely is. So then we go back, gets us back into the main menu. You can also access bass, treble, left and right, front and rear balance by turning the tuning knob on your stereo. We covered Bluetooth really quite well in previous segments. We'll just kind of take a peek in here, but this is where you would make any additions, delete a phone, add a new phone, make any adjustments, or maybe even just view your vehicle phone book or your handset phone book. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. Volumes and beeps. Exactly what it says. Ringtones, things like that. Customizing is what settings is all about. Now, on Eco Drive, this is a system basically that has to do with a knob. In this particular case, since we're in an M, let's take a look at it. It's right down here. You have this knob that has your snow mode, Eco, Sport, and normal mode. And so that's what this is back up here. Okay, so we're going to go back and take a look at driver assistance. Driver assistance, again, is an item that you won't see in all of our vehicles, but it can be controlled from the screen. And again, you can control these from the steering wheel, just like we've done in the past videos. Seems like every time we do a video, it's a little bit more repetitious, which is good. That's kind of how a lot of people learn. That's how I learn. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to hit the back button on the steering wheel this time, and we're just going to back our way out. And bear in mind that the blind spot stuff that you find in here in distance control are typically also operated from your steering wheel. We're going to take a quick peek at others. I've encouraged you to do that in past videos, and I really like it. The biggest thing under others in this particular situation is comfort. I used to call it comfort and convenience depending on what Infiniti you own. But on delivery, sales rep should take you into this section and have you, maybe adjust your auto headlights to go on. Right now it would be like really dark, but as we go up here, make them more sensitive, they would go on at dusk as opposed to dark, which is kind of nice in the wintertime in Western Washington for sure. Go down here to light off delay. If we have a long driveway, we might want those lights to stay on longer. If we have a shorter driveway, or maybe we're just going to park it in the garage, we might want to set it at 30 seconds. You even have the option of setting it so that the lights go off when you turn the car off, but even 30 seconds in the garage I think is nice. Go down to selective door lock. This works off of your intelligent key pod, and if you were to turn this off when you touch unlock on the pod, or you unlock the vehicle from touching one of the buttons on each door, then all the doors would unlock, as opposed to with it, or excuse me, when it's in the on-off position. But the preferred, I think, setting for this is to just leave it on. That means when you touch either the button on the door or your intelligent key once, it unlocks that door. Touch it twice, it unlocks all the doors. That's more what we're used to. Under intelligent key lock, unlock, and lift steering wheel on exit, move seat back on exit. Those are nice, comfortable things. I'd say lifting steering wheel on exit is obviously a desired feature. Maybe if you have someone with long legs in the back seat, right directly behind the driver, you might want to turn that off so you don't have it go back a little bit too far. And if you're in here playing around, and you do have the option of just going ahead and resetting these back to default. Alright, now, clock. Typically, if you're traveling and you want to change time zones, you go down here, and this is where you would do this. But the most popular use for this is when we go on and off daylight saving time. You also have an option to go to a military or 24-hour type display. Language and units. This is would be handy if you were maybe going to Canada, or you might be a Canadian resident and a customer of mine. So this would be how you would access that. So that's language and units. Nice to be able to know where it's at. Voice recognition, we've actually been here before on a previous video, but it is a very nice tool. It can kind of help you if you have any issues with regards to the system understanding you. You can practice, you can train it towards your voice. Alternate command mode for review is essentially just to kind of get past the learning mode and make things a little faster for you. Camera. When you put it in reverse and you turn the steering wheel, you're going to see some course lines, and that's the orange arc. I can't imagine a reason why you'd want to turn that off, but again, go in and take a peek and see what's in there. If you don't know what's there, you won't use it. Image viewer, this is kind of a nice little system, but everything's automatic with the image viewer. If you take your iPod and you plug it in the USB port, or if you have your flash drive and you plug it in, it'll automatically go in. And to actually demonstrate that, I'm going to get out of here and we'll go back into map mode. I happen to have one right here. So inside with the exception of the QX56, all of them are in the same place. They're all right here, and they're kind of hard to see because it's all the same color, but there's a little door here. You just flip it open. You just take your little flash drive or your music device and you plug it in, and it'll automatically just pop up. So it's not like you have to go into settings and search for it. That's the main reason why I wanted to, have this little demonstration. So anything that happens to be on that little drive will be there, and I can operate it right from the screen. And it's a really nice feature. So when you're done with it, you can just go out here and you can unplug it. And just kind of keep in mind that if you have something plugged in, that you can always change back to, if it's an iPod for instance, you can leave the iPod always plugged in, and as soon as you touch AM, FM, or XM radio, it'll go back there and you can just leave the device plugged in. It doesn't hurt a doggone thing. You don't need to take it out. I think, again, for review, under settings, and this has been a nice little video. I've just gone a little bit over the time that I kind of wanted it to, but please remember to be adventurous, have fun with your car, and you know what? I don't care who your sales rep is. I always like to hear from you. So, Mike Sears, Infiniti of Tacoma. Call me anytime, 206-595-1741. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.